I'm on my Max microphone today, and I'm broadcasting from Disneyland in Southern California. Hey everyone. Sorry if the audio seems lower quality than usual. Hey Olivia, does the audio seem lower quality than usual?
Not really.
No, not really. Excellent. Can you take a moment, if you're listening to the podcast today for the first time or the last time, and subscribe to it? You can subscribe by going to traderspodcast.com and then clicking on the little music icon in the sidebar. Or you can subscribe to, from the Podcasts app on your iPhone, or download your favorite Android podcast app. We really do appreciate it. And if you have a favorite episode, share it on Facebook or tweet about it. Just drop the link to the episode, the link that you get on the Traders Podcast website, into a tweet or a Facebook post. And every little bit helps to get the word out about the show. Today I'm in Disneyland, and I'm going to tell you, I did not learn anything about trading in Disneyland. There's not one useful thing here that you can apply to anything else in the world. It's just fun here. Olivia, is it pretty fun?
Yes.
Yes. I did not learn anything today about healthy eating. I did not learn anything about pacing myself and resting when I was tired. I did not learn anything about being patient with my children. Isaac, was I patient today?
No.
No. Olivia, was I patient today?
No.
No. All right. So I did not learn anything about how much a bottle of water should cost. I did not learn anything about physics, the rotation of the planets around the sun, or how to say no to my children when they ask if they can buy more Legos. Hey, who wants more Legos?
I do.
All the hands go up. And in that way, Disneyland is very similar to trading. You see, you don't learn much about trading from trading. At least, nothing useful. When you're live trading, you're not learning anything. This is contrary to popular belief, and by all means, bring on the ridicule. But save your criticisms for just a few moments while I try to make my point. When you're in the middle of a live trade, you're not learning. You're experiencing. And experience is a great teacher after the fact. Just like Disneyland is terrible for teaching you about being frugal and saving money while you're at Disneyland, and it's great for teaching you about frugality and saving money after you get home and look at your credit card statement. When you're in the middle of a live trade, you don't know the value of anything. You think that any small movement is a reason for panic or a reason for euphoria. Every candle looks like a giant Viagra candle. Every move seems like the end, for good or for bad. At least it can get that way when we're looking at the charts and we're trying to trade for a living. When you're in the middle of a live trade, you don't learn anything about patience. You're the least patient you will ever be in your life, except for your prom night and maybe the day your first child is born. These two events may be connected in some way, which I find kind of funny. What's that? Can you charge up your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. Hold on. We're just going to charge up the old iPhone here. No problem, Isaac Booker. Anyway, when you're in the middle of the trade, if you are tempted to start evaluating what you've done, we have to leave it there for a few minutes.
Aw.
Yeah, well, it has to charge up for a few minutes. Yeah, here. Take this and plug that into... Hold on, let's make sure I gave you the right one. There you go. Plug that into the end right there.
Oh.
Does that make sense? No? Into that end over there.
Dad, I can still hear the rides from Disneyland.
You can still hear the rides from Disneyland?
Which?
On the floor, you can see it's connected. Take the black one out.
Loud stuff is the people on the rides screaming.
All the loud stuff is the people on the ride screaming. All right, I'm going to go back to recording. Everybody okay with that? I love you guys. When you're in the middle of a trade, if you're tempted to start evaluating what you've done or think about what you could have done better, you're already dead. You don't replan a battle when you're in the middle of it. You set the ground rules in advance, and you know exactly what it will look like if it's a bad trade, and what it looks like if it's a good trade, and then you act accordingly. You know your decisions ahead of time. This is so important I could spend an entire podcast, which I kind of am right now, just talking about that. And it bears repeating. Know your decisions ahead of time. So all you have to do in the moment is to react naturally. No decisions to make, no lessons you're trying to teach yourself. The reason for all of this is that in the middle of a live trade, you're doing, not pondering, thinking, evaluating, or reasoning. You might be praying. You are doing actions and reactions when you're in a live trade. Your amygdala, or the root of your brain, or the lizard brain, or whatever they call it, I don't really know, that's what is in charge when you're in a live trade, especially for those of you crackheads that are trading on the really short-term charts. But really, it's for all of us. In fact, just 2 days ago, I planned a buy trade on the Euro-New Zealand dollar currency pair, and I sent it out to, and I'm not making this up, 43,000 people. Over 40,000 traders saw the plan, saw the trade, and saw that I wanted to buy this currency pair. I even bought Facebook ads. I was so confident in this trade. I made a little image and made a downloadable report. And you might have even seen that Facebook ad pass by on your feed next to the pictures of kittens throwing up on babies while driving or whatever. Anyway, I wanted as many people as possible in the world to see the trade and take it with me and make some money. I said buy it at 1.5500 or sooner and hold on to it until 5600 or later. Easy. That's my favorite kind of trade. Then the trade opened this morning. That's great, right? Sure. I had a plan. Tens of thousands of traders saw it. Maybe a few thousand of you were going to take it with me. And the fact that a lot of people were going to take it with me, that didn't influence how I felt about it at all. I've long since become comfortable with showing people what I'm doing and having what I'm doing in front of a lot of people. And my brain still turned to mush. The trade was open, and I started to ask myself, is there a better profit target? That looks good. Oh, the trade's up 100 pips, I said later in the day. I even loaded MT4 onto my phone. Yeah, really, that's pretty cool. So I could double check on it and obsess about it while I was in line for Pirates of the Caribbean. I started rethinking the trade, replanning it. Did I have more information about the trade? Yeah, I had more info for sure. The trade was open, but that's not a heck of a lot of additional info. Was I really learning anything? No. I wasn't even trying to learn anything. I was looking at dollar signs and pip levels. It's only after this trade is closed that I'll really learn anything about what I did. But trying to learn about whether I took the entry at the right price while the trade is open, well, that's a little bit ridiculous. We're always going to second guess ourselves and get doubtful about it right after it's open. It's no time to start evaluating what we've done. It's time to act, to react, to get the trade managed properly. But to second guess your skills, that just invites your ego to start criticizing itself. That will bring you down, and you won't do well on that trade, and then you probably won't do well on the next trade. Here are some things that I think you can do to improve your trading right away, immediately, with what we've talked about on today's podcast. These are things that I've done and I continue to strive to do to keep myself in line. Number 1, make your trading plans before you're in the trade, not afterwards. Number 2, know what a trade that has gone bad looks like before you get into the trade. I do this because if I know what it looks like when it's gone bad before I get into the trade, when it goes bad, I feel like I've already seen it before and it doesn't frighten me. Most of the time, things that frighten us are things that we're not familiar with, that we don't know much about. Sometimes, if we've seen it before in a less anxiety-ridden setting, we can begin to feel comfortable with it, and then we can manage it well. Number 3, know what a trade that looks like it is going to its profit target looks like before you get into the trade. That way, if it's on the way to the profit target and looking okay, you won't be tempted to fiddle with it, change it, alter it, get out early, and rob yourself of profits that should rightfully be yours. Number 4, know what a trade looks like when it has stalled and isn't going anywhere before you get into the trade. In other words, know what a time-based stop loss looks like. Number 5, have pictures of your favorite trades ready so when a trade is open, you can compare the best trades to the ones you're in right now. Number 6, keep a notebook or a trade log of all your best trades. Number 7, delete and remove and forget the worst ones. I don't think there's much value in learning from your bad trades or bad experiences. I think you just feel guilty and bad and embarrassed, and it's very hard to learn from something you feel terribly embarrassed about. And if you repeat it over and over again in your mind, you're likely to just flood your mind with negativity, and we want to flood our minds with positivity. I have no idea what number we're on. Number 9, stop thinking that you're going to learn from your worst trades. If you obsess about them, you're going to feel just terrible, and then you're going to trade worse. Keep pictures of your best trades. Post them all over your house. Post them everywhere you go, and get them ready to look at anytime you need some inspiration. There's nothing better than thinking about your best trades. Number 10, resist self-doubt. Period. In all areas of your life. Number 11, expect every trade to perform well for you. If it doesn't, and you know it because you planned it ahead of time and know what it looks like when it's not going well, then react accordingly. Trading live, number 12, is about reaction. Trading successfully is about planning those reactions ahead of time. I'm Rob Booker, and you're listening to the Traders Podcast. Olivia, how'd I do?
Good.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me podcast while you guys were playing.
Welcome.
We'll see you all next time. Bye for now.